Hello everyone and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. It finishes Leeds 2, Newcastle 2. I mean, for a neutral fan and for us, what a game it was. I mean, so many things happened, so we've got a lot of stuff to go through. But anyway, let's get into the video. So, a disappointing draw for Newcastle. I mean, we knew Leeds were going to come out with energy in the first 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
They did, didn't they? I mean, we lacked, we weren't great. Bruno kept giving the ball away a lot. And their first goal, I mean, Trippier's got to do better. I mean, he should have tackled him, and then it was poor defending. Pope maybe could have done a bit better, but overall he made a good save, and then it was an easy tap in for, I think, was it Ayling
right back?
scored,
Yeah, I think for the goal, like you see, as Trippier's going across, he sort of slips, but he's still got time to get closer to the player, and he doesn't get closer to the player, and then he sort of half-heartedly sticks out his left foot to try and block it. It's not good enough. I think it was Bamford heads it down. Pope should have tipped it around the post.
No, I think...
Although it was a good save. It was a good save, but he should have tried to tip it around the post.
Probably could
But
have done
then Isaac's sleeping. He's not concentrating, and Ayling just gets the rebound, gets in on him. So it was a really disappointing goal to concede, I think, for Newcastle. But thankfully we got one back, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, we did, and just...
It was a clumsy foul, wasn't it?
I mean... Yeah, I don't know what Joe Linton was doing there. I mean, he slides in on him, a rough challenge.
Yeah.
And a lot of Leeds fans were wondering why on earth Rodrigo didn't take the pen. And I was wondering that as well, because who took the pen again?
It was Bamford.
Bamford, yeah.
I mean, it was a brilliant save by Pope.
It was an easy save.
I
thought it was an easy save.
He dives to his right, he saves it, and then he actually scoops the ball with his left hand onto his right to push it away.
I don't know what you guys think, but I think it was pretty easy for Pope to save there. But I thought after that, we'd had a lifeline there, and then we slowly started to get in the game, didn't we? I mean, Trippier's crossing again.
Yeah, it was a little bit off, wasn't it?
It wasn't great. I mean,
and Bruno's passing, he kept giving the ball away.
Yeah,
it was disappointing.
I don't know whether it's to do with tiredness, playing too many games, but just some players today. I thought Joe Linton was good, but at times him and Bruno in the midfield did look a bit sloppy. Wilson was
the ball too long.
I don't think it gets mentioned too much, but Wilson again was really good today. I mean,
to take two penalties, and I mean the first penalty was a clumsy challenge, wasn't it, by their centre half,
Wolber.
Yes, and he was so composed, he put it right into the corner. It was a brilliant penalty. But his second penalty, in my opinion, Robles should have been sent off, because the referee warns him several times to get on his line. He doesn't go on his line, so he books him. He goes back to his line, but then starts stepping off it again. And the referee goes and warns him. He goes back to his line, then steps off it again. And for me, it should have been a sending off, because it was just persistent stupidity by him. But for Wilson to put his second one down the middle, great composure. Robles was trying to wind him up, so that serves him right for that justice in the end there.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think the referee did have a good game, despite there was a bit of controversy regarding some of the decisions he did. I think maybe we should have had a pen for there was this where Willock was coming through,
he got
pushed. I think maybe that should have been a foul, but anyway, I also thought that I think for me Isaac was good again today.
He was good on the ball, really good.
One
thing that does annoy is what I want to say, and is when Maxi came on, obviously going forward he's good, but defensively, we've got to dig in and dig deep, and every time Ayling, when he was making runs off the ball and he was getting 10 yards ahead of Maxi, the ball was coming over from to Ayling, then Maxi was busting the gut to get back. Now he's got to concentrate and actually follow the player as the player's making the run when he hasn't got the ball, so that when he either cuts out the pass or the pass isn't on. And it's really poor on his part. He needs to up his game there, and I think Howe's aware of it. It's something he needs to do.
Yeah, I just also want to mention Willock because he played well today.
Yeah.
He seems to, like, even though he's a midfielder, he seems to drift out onto the wide, doesn't he? And he does
carries the ball forward well.
He does do well at that. So,
but I think their goal was just a bit of luck. They kept the ball around the box, and it was a shot, and Trippier tries to block it, hits his head, and goes in. It's just a bit of bad luck. But they gifted us 2 penalties with a stupid foul, and then his hand in the air was
when we were
stupidity.
2-1 up, you've got to, like, kill off the game, don't you? I mean, there was a couple of times where instead of just going at them because their players look tired, we were sort of passing it around. And that's good because we're keeping the ball. We should try and get at them and kill off the game.
I totally agree with you there.
That's sort of what we didn't do, and what we should have done really to win the game.
I really agree with you there because I think I looked at the clock and it was 76 minutes and we were driving forward, breaking, and we could have transitioned the ball a lot quicker and got into a goal scoring opportunity. And Leeds looked a bit down and out then. They was sluggish, and I felt if we just made some more decisive decisions in that area, we would have finished them off, and we were holding the ball up and then passing it wide and all nice stuff. But we needed to go for the jugular and finish them off. We didn't do that, and that's when they came back and scored.
Yeah, also I do want to mention that Leeds were trying to sort of break up the play.
Yeah,
a lot of the times when we had the ball, they were constantly fouling, and I mean, it is frustrating, but that we knew that was their game plan from the start, and maybe Newcastle should have been more aware of it. But I just want to talk about Bruno because I do like him, but I've got to give him criticism. Not just this game, but the last few games. I think he hasn't really been up to scratch. He gave the ball away a lot, but he does draw players in.
Does do some good things in the game as well.
Sometimes he does hang on to the ball for a bit too long.
Yeah.
I think there was a couple of times in the game where he nearly gave the ball away, hanging on to the ball for too long. What about Dan Burn? What did
he did all right today. You know, he's
I think he needs dropped for the Brighton game. I'm not critical. Just because he's from Newcastle doesn't mean he has to start all the time. I think Target offers you a bit more, in my opinion.
You know, we've got to where we are with him playing left back for the vast majority of games, and he's done really well. You know, if we do get into the Champions League next year, and we might need to look at that area and strengthening it just to give her a little bit more. But overall, I think he's done really well.
Yeah, I'm not saying he hasn't done well, but what I'm saying is I do think he needs a rest, in my opinion. Okay. And I also think that do you think Isaac on the left and Wilson up front? It seems. I think
it works really well.
Work
I mean, it depends who your opposition is, but Isaac's doing really well on the left. He can do really well through the middle. But Wilson's scoring lots of goals at the minute, and he's confident.
Do you think you would start with the same team? Because Brighton's a very important game.
I mean,
at home.
Brighton are technically one of the best teams in the Premier League, and that might shock people, but I think. I think they are.
I'm actually really interested to watch Mitoma play because, guys, we are going to that game, so there will be a video up on the channel on Thursday, and I've only seen Mitoma play on the telly, and you know his skills and his dribbling are fantastic, and I just
Mitoma, here's an interesting point for Mitoma.
And he's done an S.
Yeah, he's done his dissertation at university on dribbling in football. So, and he's absolutely brilliant at dribbling with the ball. Really talented player.
We've got to be aware of him.
But I mean, Brighton got thumped off Everton 5-1. That was such a shocking result, and I'm sure they'll be wanting to bounce back from that. But you know, they're technically a fantastic team, and you know they're doing really well in the league.
They've got he's a brilliant player.
They seem to buy these players from South America and other countries and develop them, and then they'll sell them for big money, don't they?
So overall for the top four is, I mean, at least we haven't lost. It does mean sort of we do push further away from Man United. They play Wolves today, so hopefully they can lose that game.
I think if we've got Brighton at home on Thursday and then Leicester at home. Leicester fighting obviously to stay in the Premier League now. If we can win those two games, I think that'll be us in the Champions League.
All right, I'm just going to predict our fixtures, guys. Our remaining games, and I want you to basically say what you think. So, Brighton, I think it's going to be... Oh, it's a hard one to predict because it could be a cagey sort of draw, but 2-1 Newcastle, I think.
Yeah, 2-1.
So I think we'll beat Brighton, and then who's it? Leicester
on the Monday
I think
night.
we'll beat them 2-0, and then is it Chelsea?
Chelsea on the following Sunday.
That'll be a tough game, but I think if we can get a draw.
Yeah.
So I think we'll win our next 2 games and draw against Chelsea, which should be enough, but you've also got to remind as well, Liverpool are sort of starting to pick up momentum, but I'm really looking forward to the Brighton game to do a video for you guys, because we haven't been to a game in quite a while, so it will be nice to see. But anyway, guys, make sure to subscribe, especially for that Brighton game video coming up on Thursday. We'll see you guys later.
See you, bye.